have with us Miss Indrakshi Sen, who serves as a psychological counselor at Dr. B.C. Roy Society. Ms. Sen has been a consistent pillar of support in the academic community, offering guidance, counseling and psychological support to the students and faculty alike. So now I would call upon Mr. Abhishek Pal sir, HOD and coordinator, to felicitate her with a flower bouquet. So we warmly welcome Madam.
So, I have a question. এই পয়েন্টারটা কি মানে আমাকে টুয়ার্ডস স্ক্রিনেই করতে হবে
আপনি নিচে যখন দেবেন আপনি নিজেই চেঞ্জ করতে পারবেন, অসুবিধা কিছু নেই। যদি আপনি বলেন যে কাউকে চেঞ্জ করাবেন নেক্সট স্লাইড করে সেও আছে, অসুবিধা নেই। আপনি যদি বলেন তাহলে কাউকে দিয়ে দেবেন, আর যদি আপনার কমফোর্টেবল হয় আপনি করতে পারেন, কোনো অসুবিধা নেই।
So we warmly welcome Madam to start with her session. Thank you.
Well, I'm truly honored to be here today. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me this opportunity to be a part of your ATAL program. I really hope I can make this session a useful one for you. Very good afternoon to everyone present here. I hope you are not stressed out before the session starts. Today my session is on stress management. I'll discuss about the factors which are present in the surroundings around us. What are the major stressors that causes us daily life functioning and dysfunctioning at the same time, and what strategies you can use so that you are little going less on the stressors. Okay. Where should I point it, sir? I won't need a button. The importance of stress management. Can anyone tell me, like any one of you can just tell me, what could be the probable responses that why is an individual stressed? Can anyone just start with a little bit of interaction?
Gap between expectation and reality.
Sorry, sir?
Gap between expectation and reality.
Right. You are all belonging from some workplace. Previously you also had worked somewhere, now you are working here. Do you face work-life stress in your present work? You have no stress at all, right? I'll start off with the session. Stress is something that everyone experiences, so learning how to cope with it is actually very important. Why stress is an alarming sign for us? It is seen in the statistics that almost 65% of Indians suffer from stress, and this stress-induced problems which we have in our life affects us directly in our adult life in the later future. Anyone here is diagnosed with heart problems as of now, presently? Anyone? Or you might not even know that you are affected with it. For the information, there are some stressors which can cause directly induced heart problems in the later life if you are not able to manage stress at this point of time. 25% it says of all the Delhi employees view their jobs as the #1 cause of stress. But not only in Delhi, we have it even here in Bengal. Other than what is displayed on the screen, anyone would like to tell me what is stress for you? You have the handouts with you? handouts? So the first handout, which is mentioned 2A, I would like you to fill this up regarding a situation, a feeling and a response about any particular day in your life which created an emergency, and how that you reacted on it, how you managed it with or without panicking, with whom you discussed everything, how did you cope up with it? Could just anyone fill that up and read it aloud for me? Any one of you. Handout 2A. Please recall a recent situation in your personal or professional life which created a sense of alarm or emergency, and mention the ways in which you dealt with it. You have to describe the situation, what exactly happened, which panicked you a lot or maybe gave you instant stress. What was your feeling at that point of time, and what were you thinking, what were your thoughts about it, how to overcome it, and finally what you did in the response that got you over the situation. Could you please kindly fill that out? I hope, sir, you have received the handouts.
Me?
No, sir. The one in green shirt. Yes. Could you please fill that out, sir?
I think filling the table will be stressful for most of us.
And people here too tired after the lunch break to fill that up. Okay, फिर से no, you have to fill up the forms and questionnaires. I've given almost 3 to 4, more than 5 papers with you as a handout. Don't feel stressed. It is about an activity which I'm going to do so that you don't sleep between the sessions. anyone would like to read that out, please? How you handled your stress recently, whether be it in your professional or personal life. Madam, would you?
Actually, last year I lost my father, 10th August only. So there is a time period he was hospitalized. So in my mind, this only came as per the handout, but I get the situation you faced. So that is a very heartbreaking situation that time. Means last year, I had a deep feeling of loss, like, but I had to again recollect my energy for my dear ones, for my mother, for everyone. Like, if I will break down, then everything is going to stop. So from there, I again stood and
I'm really sorry for your loss, ma'am. What gave you the most strength at that point of time? What was your point of strength?
maybe his teachings, my whatever he used to share with me, the things he wanted me to do, his laughter, his way of saying that achi to ami তুই চল না আমি আছি. So all these things, they were strong feelings for me. After that, I also had a dream. Means he came and he said me that আমি আছি তুই অত ইয়ে like that way. The situation was handled. I don't want to go in that deep feeling, please.
I understand. It's okay. Thank you so much for your input.
And then in a professional area, their friends were there, colleagues were there to take me out from there. So there's a loss yet, but now going like it's started. Everything is started. Going downward.
More strength to you, madam. Thank you so much. Basically, what we see in here is stress being a very physical response, at times a psychological response. Psychological response which leads to the physical response. Whenever we remember something that happened previously, as in ma'am's case, or whether we are dealing it right now, whether be it the students dealing with academic stress or the work-life balance which the educators or the professionals are dealing with. It's all about a psychological thing. Whatever you take up in your mind and allow your thoughts to will eventually lead to the stressful event in your life. From here, we can say that the very old traditional definition of stress which Hans Seel gave, stress is not necessarily bad always. It always gives us strength also. Ma'am herself said that her most strengthening point was whatever teachings were with her at that point of time. So we will discuss about the stress being a good part also in our life. Do you know about what are the good parts of stress? Anyone knows the term, what you call it? The good part of stress? The good name for the good stress? I'll give a hint. The another one is distress. What could be the other one? Anyone? I really want this session to be interactive. If you could help me with that. Eustress. The other one is eustress. That is a good stress. This is eustress. We often have our positive stress as eustress and we often have our negative stress as the distress. Positive stress usually takes up the challenges, whatever deadline we have to finish or whatever work we have to do in time, whether be it we are doing at the very late hours, एकदम कल presentation में आज presentation बना रहे हो, कल submission में assignment का आज हमने खत्म की, I'm doing this my way, you can do it your way. We often know कि if your point of view is 6, my point of view can be 9. But this is not only the thing. This is not only the case that actually happens. Although how much we understand कि हाँ उसका point of view भी है, मेरा भी point of view है, Still, when we are in the ground line situation, we always think, no, I am the right one. This can also lead to the stress. For the ones who are usually in stress or experience stress, they have to rely on only one particular approachable method. Every time, problem can be different, their method of approach will be the same. Whatever problems you face, and you try to approach it in a singular way. That can cause you stress because it does not always work out. If there are so many people in this room, everyone has their different favorite colors. I can't be applying the same color to everyone and I would expect that they will love that color. When we are not getting something what we expect, that causes the psychological stress, eventually leading to the physical stress. It is also said we often overestimate how fast time passes. Can anyone just say a yes or no to me? That could be enough. Supposedly you have a work to do within 2 hours and you are sitting back at your home calculating what other things I can accumulate in 2 hours. Does it ever happen? You are wanting to do 5 works at a time and you have only 2 hours. Do you often calculate time? No, I'll do this thing and I'll do that thing after this. But we are actually losing 10 minutes of our time just by planning, not the execution part. When we just keep on overestimating and we don't end up completing our work, that also leads to stress. It's a very common thing. Types of stresses. One of you, please stand up and read that for me. Types of stressors. Anyone with a name? So all of you need glasses to see this. You can come here and read if you want. Just read that out for me. You don't have to explain. Please come here and read that out. Encounter stressors. Okay, thank you. We have our time stresses where we have lots of work overload and lack of control. Lack of control as in what lack of control do we have in our life right now? We are working, we are depending up to things. So what lack of control could we have probably? Sorry? Time. Anything else, sir? Other than time?
Emotions.
Regularity of emotion, the regulation of emotions, right. In the encounter stresses, we see role, issue and action conflicts. Anyone has any point to say on conflicts? Or maybe we can face it daily. Role conflicts. वो ज़्यादा काम कर रहा है, मैं नहीं कर रहा, ठीक है, I'll take the credit. But अगर मैंने ज़्यादा काम कर लिया, वो क्यों कम कर रहा है? Why is he in the team? He's not working. Role conflicts. Action conflicts. You have planned everything, everyone is given the equal amount of work at the very deadline moment. Somebody is telling, let's do it in my end, please. I do have a class to take, so can you please do that meeting for me? Or I have a meeting to go for, and the person is not doing it. Action conflicts. We face these things in our daily life, almost daily, maybe twice, maybe thrice daily, and that leads us to stress. And sometimes it is said that the stress we take from our work life is what we pour to our family members. what we pour to our friends. We think we are just relaxing ourselves and talking things out to our friends. It is not always the case. You never know who is actually listening to you by heart, or who is actually wanting to solve your problems, or they are just doing nothing. They are just listening to you because they are your friends. Maybe your family takes a part in listening what are the stresses you are facing in your daily life, but they can't act upon it. It is you who have to act up to it. We have another stressor, the situational stressors, unfavorable working conditions and rapid change. Maybe for someone else that works out, and the rapid change which does not work out for you. Anticipatory stresses, unpleasant expectations and fear. Does anyone have a blood phobia here? They fear of blood? You have, okay. What else? I have got two participants who fear of blood. I am the third one. Anyone who fears spiders? Nobody does. From the male section, I can see nobody fears the spiders. Okay. Anything which you fear? Anything which you fear? Maybe getting rejected in an interview, maybe? Spiders se डर नहीं लगता, but getting rejected in an interview, that happens. Your research proposal which you are sending to an institute might get rejected. You have to work on it once again. Can that be counted as a stressor? In your work life, you are getting late, and that is the very last day of being late in a month. Can that be a stressor? You are punching, but your punch did not actually was accepted. You got to know it very late after your salary was already deducted. Can that be a stress? All these things can be our anticipatory stressors. When finally we have a lots of stress in us and we are not to take it out in a very regular way. You are, have you seen the roads recently in Durgapur due to rain? How are they? Do you like to drive over them or ride over them? Specifically when you're coming to work in a fresh way and somebody pulls out all the waters to you. That thing happens to us as burnout. When there is a lot of stress for a prolonged period of time, or a chronic period of time, you are not telling things to anyone, you are not regulating your emotions as well. You are just dumping up every stress into you, thinking that I can manage everything. Why to let people know and bother people? Someone might fear that they won't listen to me, I know. I am the one who have to solve this. Keeping things to yourself can cause burnout at the end stage. Burnout is a complete exhaustion physically, mentally and emotionally. And this can happen to someone who is aged 15 to someone who can be of age 71. You have to decide on which stage you want to have your burnout. Or maybe you don't want to have a burnout at all. We will learn some techniques of stress management here so that we don't get to the stage of burnout, because it harms our body in every possible way. Some myths about stress. There are some very common myths about stress we often say again in a daily life functioning. First one is stress is same for everybody. Is it so? Maybe the threshold can differ. What is easy for me cannot be easy for you. Or let's say the opposite thing. You all are teaching, you all are learning at the same time, you all have a family to manage. I'll just give some examples of aspect between the one who is sitting there, the one I am here. Many of you have a family to lead. So you have things on the back of your mind while you are taking classes कि अब घर पे जाकर उसको ट्यूशन लेके जाना है मेरे बेटे को, ट्यूशन से लाना है, I have to pay the fees in the school properly. I don't have that. as of now. Maybe later I will have. I won't think about that stress at all. But we human beings have a very common tendency to think of what we do not have in our control. But again, on the other side, if you see, if you flip the sides, I deal with a massive population of students, staffs, administration, faculties, everyone in the college, which you don't have to. The teacher who is giving education in the classroom, it's not possible to focus on all the 65 to 80 students at once. But when you see the student is not responding for a longer period of time, then you get the student to me. By that time the damage is already done. So I'm getting a very damaged student. I have to work on them. Now imagine the amount of stress I can be having because everyone is telling their problems to me. Who am I going to tell my problems to? Not always possible to get to a counselor just to clear out my problems. I don't even get the time. So maybe stress is something different for me, stress is something different for you. It cannot be same to everyone. That is a myth. We often say, अरे यही तो है, ठीक है, हो जाएगा, हाँ हो जाएगा, कोनो असुविधा नहीं, या तो टेंशन कরার কি আছে? You never know what the person is going through or what the student is going through. Second one, stress is always bad for you. We just discussed the stress. The stressors sometimes are good for us as well. The work which we thought of completing 2 months back, I am now completing it within 2 days. So some stressors are actually good for you. Third myth, stress is everywhere, so you can't do anything about it. Is this also true or just a myth? Anyone, any inputs from your side on this myth, myth number 3? Stress is everywhere. Anyone, sorry, from you? Please read it if you want, and you can give an example from your own life that has happened with you recently for this myth. I just would love to hear some inputs. Does this line seem very similar in the classrooms? Don't we often tell it to the students at times? If they are complaining that so many things are not happening in an aligned way, we often give this advice to them: effective planning. If you do your plan properly, if you execute it in a proper way, maybe you can actually align your things. But we often forget that we should be doing this to ourselves as well. Do we lack in our effective planning? As Sir said, emotional regulation and time is a problem which we are facing. Do you really think your planning is up to date? Your planning is exact and proper? How long do you plan? आप कितना दूर तक सोचते हो? So I would like you to answer. If you wake up in the morning and you sit with your diary that I have to do this and this task, you have a to-do list. How long can you plan?
So, ma'am, that depends on the circumstances. Suppose I am planning something, it might be that all the circumstantial things are not going in the exact way that I am thinking of.
Right.
That might affect my to-do list. It
Right.
might
But
be
do you plan usually? मतलब plan होता है कितना दिन का आपका? Usually कितना दिन तक आप कर लेते हो plan?
I am not think like that.
Oh, you don't think that way. Anyone who plans days or weeks or maybe months? One day, anyone gets up and sits with their diary to list, I have these things to do by today? Just a tip. Try to do it once so you will get to know it will affect you within a month. We often forget this. We preach this, but we don't practice this. And then supposedly we end up, it might happen to you at first, you regulated 12 tasks, you listed up 12 tasks. When you're getting home back, just put a tick and say, okay, 8 things happened out of 12. When you will see that on the very first month, maybe it will fluctuate from only 1 task per day, or 2, or 3, or 4. But once it's regulated, once it's become a practice, which we forgot these days, to write it up. I suggest my students to do journaling, but is it possible in our lives to do a journaling, sit and do a journaling somewhere? But planning is possible, sir. If we can plan our day properly, that will resolve half of our time management, that will resolve half of our emotional burden. Because knowingly or unknowingly, emotional burdens also come from our work-life stressors. Anything that is not happening to you according to your expectations. So might be planning can work. The fourth method is the most popular techniques for reducing stress are the best ones. How many of you meditate? Please raise your hands up. Many of you actually. Sir, is it consistent?
Not exactly. Actually, the planning part also I have started,
Yeah.
but I
Reason, sir? Any reason?
I don't know. Maybe after 7 or 10 days, I have stopped working on that.
That is where we also lack, sir.
Maybe it is not doing in my way. Out of 10 planning, maybe 6 or 5 I can attain. As because this unattended I have reasons. That's the reason.
Sir, आपको मजबूरी पता है? मजबूरी. You know about this word मजबूरी? I don't know the exact right English word. What we can call this मजबूरी in English? Compulsive, right, sir? So, sir, we have to take classes compulsively. We can't leave it because कि नहीं हो रहा है आज की इच्छा ही करछे ना class पढ़ते. Again, those same students having not submitted the assignments for years now. I don't want to take the class. Okay, good morning, students. Now, it is going on in the back of your mind, looking at the students, but majboori. Try it with majboori, sir. Maybe once meditation or planning, be it whatever, might work for you. We leave planning often just because, so as sir said, ki yes, it is not happening to our expectations. But in our work life, there is majboori. Why not in our personal life? We often tend to mix our professional and personal life every often. It's very hard these days to actually keep it apart. Then why not making it a real part? And mixing things when it is effective. I think that might work out. You don't want to take a class, you can't go and tell your seniors or maybe your colleagues, I don't want to take a class, please take it in my place. Once, twice, thrice, but not every day. Maybe try to do something that makes you happy once and often, but planning and regulation is a part. If you try to be consistent, it helps. Coming to the most popular technique, many of you raised your hands with meditation. May I just know what do you do exactly when you meditate? Yes, sir, please.
Observing the breath. Observing my breath. Observing my breath.
Only that? Are
Sometimes
your eyes closed or open while doing that?
close.
Closed. How many of you actually raised hands for meditation? Ma'am, would you please answer what do you do exactly when you meditate?
I close my eyes and I concentrate on the towards my own
The fifth one, no symptoms, no stress. How many of you have actually seen people or talk about people amongst yourself? You have groups, right? So we all have groups. We have 4 people groups, we have 10 people groups, but again there are some groups which are very like insiders, only 2 people. Although they are in a group, they will talk about, you know, that this thing happens so and so, that thing happens so and so. How many of you actually know someone in your circle who always laughs and takes it easily? Everything. Someone you would know like this. Be it your family member, be it your colleague, be it your friends. Anyone you have observed till now कि अरे वही लोगटा तो सब कुछ easily ना. Whatever stresses may come to him or her, she just smiles it off. I wish I could do like that. I wish I could be like him or her. At least one person you have seen till now. That is what myth number 5 says. It does not really mean that she or he doesn't have any stress. They don't tend to show. Simple. They will die inside, but they won't show you. But still they have stresses in them. And it's always in the back of their mind. I'm not sure in this session, when I will be practicing mindfulness, how many of you would actually feel it. But I would love to give a reference to myth number 5. I had a student with whom I practiced mindfulness. She was really happy student. For all these 3 years, teachers have never seen her crying or complaining even. She's always smiling, regardless of whatever happens. So I just called her one day because it looked to me very abnormal, being so normal in an engineering college and not doing anything, you're not facing any problems. I just started off with the mindfulness technique. I was guiding her. Maybe ma'am you would be knowing the processes. You have to close your eyes and then think about something, whatever I will describe. While I was just starting off, it got stuck in her throat. She could not resist crying and she bursted out for like 15 to 20 minutes straight away, which she could not do for all these 3 years. She was already having more than 10 to 12 stressors working in her. But nobody could identify because she did not choose to show it. Sometimes no symptoms also causes stress. If you notice nothing in anyone, it's a high time, I suppose, you should actually start seeing first symptoms. I know it's not possible on one-to-one basis in a classroom, but maybe being a mentor, having the mentor mentee program, you can just look up for the students who are trying to hide their stressors. So much suicides that we hear these days are for myth number 5. Myth number 6 is only major symptoms of stress require attention. Already discussed, it is more like myth number 5. No, it's not really as such. It is very simple as I don't like to go buying vegetables. I will refer my case. Whenever I go home after college, I expect to go and have a very friendly talk with my parents, but instead my mother suddenly calls me and tells me ki bishti porche podu ja giye eta niye aaye ota niye aaye. That is a stressor for me. I am riding home at 6 p.m. I often walk out from college at 6:30 to 7 p.m. After finishing my work, I never take my work back to home regardless of whatever it is. How important it is. I will end up being in college late, but I won't take it home. Can you honestly raise your hands who never take your work home from college and finish it in college itself? Please raise your hands a bit high, sir. You never take back things home? Very nice. And if everybody else takes it home? We have to. So don't you think this is a stressful thing?
Not always.
Not always, but sometimes.
Sometimes
Another myth. It is actually stressful, but we tend to hide it. It might be less stressful, but it is stressful. Imagine coming home, working, and then going college and working, and you're working all day. And then what you lack is time management and planning. How will you get consistency if your mind is full? Your mind is already preoccupied. You cannot, all the computer professionals are here, I suppose. All the techies are sitting in front of me. Acha, let's say, not all the techies. You know how to use a pen drive? At least, or mobile phone memory. If you can't clear a particular memory, how will you insert more memory into it? How will you take pictures? It will show you some alarming signs. Your storage is full, your storage is full, your storage is full. You can't take a single picture. If your battery is low, you can't open the camera even. Shutter to dur ki baat hai, flash to dur ki baat hai, the camera app won't open. Your battery is low, your battery is low. These are some of the alarming signs in our body itself. Your hands paining unnecessarily. If you smoke or if you don't smoke, your hands are shivering. A sign of stress. Your back is paining. A sign of stress. Too much headache suddenly within a month, although you wear a specs or not, is a sign of stress. We often think unable to eat food due to this weather. It is not always the case. That is also something, your appetite is not willing to align with your stress. I have some measures, maybe I will share it later, where you can actually point in yourself what are the stresses you are already having right now at this moment with you. These are the stress responses. You can just go through it. Is it clear? Is it clearly visible, sir? Not clear till the last. Sir, any methods to make it clear? Is it visible now, sir? How many of you bite nails? This can't be possible in a room full of so many men and nobody is biting nails. It's not possible at all. I am refusing to believe this. Usually men have this habit more often than women because of stresses once again. We have never noticed it maybe, but rarely any females you will get to see biting their nails. Mostly there are men.
Actually not nails, but skin. Maybe.
Exactly. That also includes. So do you like the taste of the skin, sir?
No, not nails.
What do you like about it then? Somebody made us laugh. Thank you, sir. Can we have applause for him? Somebody communicated. Somebody actually made this session interactive. Weight gain is a very common factor these days. I'll talk about cortisol. How many of you are actually very frustrated of having a lot of weight gain recently? No one. How beautiful, stressless audience I am having. Nobody is actually concerned about a weight gain.
1 year back I was concerned about it.
Okay, so is that the rule? I'll raise my hands first and then the rest of it. Body image issues, did it come to you ever? Be it a childhood trauma, bullying, or maybe somebody called you with the names. नाम से बुला लिया, कुछ भी नाम बोल दिया. You are very irritated, but you could not speak up. That stress given to you in class 6 might follow you till death if you don't take it out. Some of the emotional and behavioral responses are proof of it. Dizziness, stomach cramps, as we said, are just not because of food poisoning always. It can be because of stress. stress management now. Stress management, be it because of the workplace stress or your family stress, or could be any of the factors, there are very common methods which we use often with any age group. Any age group. These are the 4 A's which we use. Avoid, alter, adapt, and accept. When you want to change the situation but you are not able to, just avoid it. We usually do it, right? We usually avoid the situation or we alter the situation. We try to change the situation. What if it works out? But your reaction works only when you accept it or adapt to it. When does adaptation comes usually? When you know you don't have a choice, you have to go on with doing it. That is adaptation. You accept it at the end. Okay, this is not going to change. Although whatever I do, however I cry, it is not going to change. Then only your reaction is supposed to be accepting or adapting. But before that, what we do at the very first stage is avoiding it. Expressing your feelings instead of bottling them up, willing to be compromising, be more assertive, or managing your time better falls under the altering of situation. Also comes the planning which we discussed. But the most important that comes is being consistent with whatever you are doing. Just being consistent. When you adapt to the stressor, you basically reframe your problems. You look at them in a different way. Look at the bigger picture, planning for the later future, adjusting your standards. Maybe you are not meant for that particular situation, but you adapt to it because you have to. And focus on the positive. If you think somebody is cornering you, be it in any of the interpersonal relationships you have, just adapt to it. It will make things easier. Gel up easily. A very big factor in us is we don't usually gel up. It's not always the ego. We are not able to sometimes. Because we are not adaptive. Many of us right now is not flexible enough. We are not flexible enough. We can't be gelling up easily with any random person. We don't approach people. Neither we ourselves are approachable enough that they will come and talk to us straight away. Our facial expressions speaks it all. Although however or whatever you hide, your face speaks it all. You have to be approachable. The more approachable you are, the more people will come to you, reach out to you. You will unknowingly lessen down your stress. Half of the time the problem is we don't even identify. We can't even identify that we are having this stress in us. What frameworks are basically provided? Mindful breathing and relaxation, which is a very common practice. Time blocking and prioritizing our tasks. Setting aside specific blocks of time for different tasks and using it at the very start of each week. You have to regularize it, you have to restart it, you have to plan it. A lot of paperwork might be happening, a lot of other different ways of storing your information would be happening. It might be a stressful thing at first कि इतना कैसे manage करें. Already these management things we have to do and another one is coming up to our head, but it is the betterment for yourself if you do it. Physical movement breaks. Do you actually walk around for like 2 minutes after your classes or when you are sitting for too long or maybe after your lunch break? How many of you actually had a walk here today? We forget to. It's not that we don't want to, but usually we forget to. Amra revise kori na. We don't have someone to always keep us revising. It is only these seminars when we get to revise things once again. Ki egulo korte hobe, karna padega, but we don't usually do it. We forget. What can help? This movement, this breaks, physical movement breaks can happen. Incorporate short bursts of physical activity like a 5 to 10 minutes walk. Even 2 minutes walk can help you out. Whenever an extreme stressful situation is in front of you, you have 10 minutes to resolve it. Take 2 minutes to rethink it. Drink some water, take a walk, talk to someone. Distract yourself the very immediate moment you are getting into the stressful moment, the stressful situation, and take the rest 8 minutes to make a self-decision. Use your metacognitive abilities. I was just discussing with sir about the metacognitive abilities. You know what is a cognition part? Hopefully everyone knows it. But what is metacognition? It's the self-regularization. We are learning daily. When we are teaching someone, we are already learning it twice. To teach one is to learn twice, is what we know. But do we follow up on ourselves just like the way we follow up the students? Students का तो mentor-mentee program है, follow कर लेते हैं. Do we have something for us, ourselves? कि we are learning it right? Or how far is our storage working for the next learning session? We have to do it, we have to incorporate it. The 2-minute rule. If a task will take less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. This will prevent the smaller tasks from building up and overwhelming you. Very good example is given in the form of emails. Even I don't mind confessing it when Abhishek sir mailed me for the very first time for this invitation of today's seminar. It was back in May month. I have proof in my email. I talked to him, I spoke to him over a phone call. Ki yes sir, that is a very good thing. I will try to make a very interactive session. वो 5 minute में हो गया because sir called me. But I replied to his email almost a week late. Just an acknowledgement saying yes sir. Sir asked me to send my notes and all the session structures and the handouts and everything which you have in your hand right now. It is printed just 5 minutes before the session. Why? Because of my lack of interaction. I don't mind confessing it because this happens with us. We often forget the smallest of the tasks in the verge of completing the bigger ones. I sent all the handouts to him, which was supposed to be sent in 10th July. 10th June, I sent it on 10th July. Because somewhere it was written 10th June, June. I just saw 10th June, okay. After a week, my mind started telling me 10th July है, बहुत दूर है, बहुत time है, आराम से करो. We notice things, yet we don't notice things. Our mind has a very beautiful tragedy of replacing words very easily. How many of you mispronounce things every often? You're going to take somebody else's name, you take somebody else's name. কথা বলতে 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 যাচ্ছি একটা হয়ে যাচ্ছে আরেকটা. Your tone, you want to speak in one tone, you are speaking in another tone. This is simply free association of words. Sigmund Freud gave this idea that our unconscious mind is always active. I'm for sure right now you're listening to me, I'm also talking to you, but something is going on in my mind as well as your mind, isn't it? Somebody is thinking I have to go home. Somebody is thinking, oh my god, the session will end and then again college will be there. Somebody is thinking, किसी ने मेरा गाड़ी का टायर तो चुरा नहीं लिया होगा क्योंकि मेरा गाड़ी बाहर पार्क है. It's very silly, but it happens. We think of the most oddest things in between of very important things and we blame the students. Don't we do the same thing, just the same thing? Your mind is always on work. And just by not noticing these small things, it was my lack of communication. I misspelled June as July. So whenever it's just 2 minutes task, do it at the first priority. I am no one to teach you. All my seniors are present here. They know it better between urgent and important. But what we do is we forget to practice it. pardon me if I'm wrong, we don't practice it because we forget it. Mostly, most of the times. Digital detox. Anyone aware of this term digital detox? Oh, what is it, sir?
For some time taking break from the digital gadgets.
So
Say for 1 hour or 2 hours, we are not going to use the digital, any kind of gadgets. Or any kind of internet activity will be not there. You will be aside from that.
But do we actually do it?
I mean, we
Try to practice at least.
I actually do it.
Anyone else who does this for themselves?
Sorry, sir? Okay, you are trying. How many of you are actually addicted to reels just after your college or whenever you get a break? Please raise your hand. I would love to see the hands. Reels, proper reels, be it YouTube, be it Instagram, it's very common. You get a break from your classes, Instagram. It is not right. It is not right. It happens. It's very common. It happens. And then we tell students Instagram is not good. They try to sell things to you. You should not be watching Instagram reels very often. It is very addictive. And the moment they leave the class, you sit in the chair and like, okay, this reel is nice. It's very common. Have you seen in your, like back at your home, I have seen my parents. I'm not married, so I don't have a husband to watch over, but I have my parents. I've seen them. They were the one to tell me, "Ato phone ব্যবহার করছিস কেন?" Things have turned now. It has flipped. I go home, I see both of them.
Right.
Swiping up and swiping down. I don't get messages in WhatsApp from BC Roy community. How? I'm not really sure. Almost 10 to 12 messages from BC Roy community and 121 messages from my mother's WhatsApp. Sharing Instagram reels on WhatsApp. They effectively use every platform technically, switching from the one to the other. The ones who actually once spotted you, don't do this, it's not good for you, are using that same method to create stress in their own life as well as others' life. This has actually been a part of stress because in Instagram, whatever reels we see, most of it firstly is fake. If not fake, it gives you a comparison of your life with theirs. We often fall into that category. We fell for the trap very easily. They have such a nice life. We are just working, they are partying. We are not getting holidays, they are holidaying. We don't have this much beautiful clothes, they are hanging out, they are shopping every day. You are putting yourselves into comparison and here away bringing up stress in your own life. So digital detox is so important because of that. Another thing that has come up recently in the research is, I've not mentioned it in the slides I suppose. You know your phone has a voltage. Your phone has a certain amount of voltage. Not much technical, but whenever your body doesn't have a proper voltage like that. Let's say your body has a 0 voltage and this phone has 88 voltage. Let's take it that way. When you're bringing this close to your body, it's okay, it's 44, 48, 47, 48 like this. Half of the time you sleep like this, or your phone falls at you, or you're keeping this close, or you're sleeping like this. It creates a bigger amount of voltage in your body for the whole night, which causes anxiety in the morning. Whenever you wake up in the morning, you might have noticed recently that you are having a lot of back pain. It is because of prolonged chronic use of digital devices nearby you. It is what we heard till now is radiation. It emits radiation which is harmful. Other than that, this is another thing that has come up with the research. It causes a hell lot of anxiety within us. The last one, setting boundaries for work and personal time and nature breaks. Nature breaks are very common and very useful, we often see people taking nature break, actually moving outside the college. It's okay. But what about boundaries? Do your students or your mentees text you even at the oddest hour of the day, stating their problems, and do you allow them to? How many of you actually have set boundaries? Okay, after 7 p.m. you are not going to contact me. At least raise hands in this one. I don't think so many people will do. So we don't have even a proper set of boundaries. Why are we talking about stress management? Half of the stress comes because of boundaries. You are not able to say no clearly. Even I can't. I can't properly say no to someone who is wanting to suicide at that moment. She maybe has just texted me, ma'am, I'm wanting to suicide right now. She is 13 kilometers away from me. How can I say no to her? Sometimes it's okay, but not every time and not always with everyone. We need to set boundaries in order to keep our stresses away. Another thing, stress-related dysfunction, what you can have, just have a reading. I'm not going to explain this. We have discussed all these things. What difficulty can you have in your daily life? For example, difficulty in concentrating. Other than students, we also have this problem of concentration and the span of attention, which has eventually been lower these days. Potential consequences, what could be it, and what prevention methods you can use for your own safety. Just give it a read if you can. I want your second handout to be done by now that we have discussed a lot. You have handout 3A with you. So would that be okay if I take these handouts with me? And if anyone wants a brief report, I can prepare one for them. In handout 3A, it's a list given of true and false statements about your life, about your daily life. Please tick them off wherever you think you prefer one of the responses. Just T and F would work. Is there anyone in this room right now who practices physical activity daily, regularly, who is into a proper physical exercise? Yes, madam. You. Only one person? It could be walking, it could be gym, it could be yoga, it could be taking a normal walk, a little brisk walk.
Do it, but with irregularity.
Bit irregular. That will also work if the irregularity is like 4 times in a week. That will also be considered with regularity. How many of you actually think to make things regular and that regularity never comes to you? कि अगले हफ्ते से करेंगे. From the next week, I will start gym. I am practicing this regularity since a year now. I started gym in 2024. I never went to the gym, but I am again starting it this August, maybe today. And I'm starting it daily, but I'm not attending the gym. This regularity is not a regularity. So this doesn't count. There is another page if you want to give a reading about being poor in decision making. The reasons are quite listed here. we do the handout 4B together. It is something same, but it's more interesting because you have to rate it. Within 1 to 23, you have to just put the prioritizing stressor at the very first. ये सबसे बड़ा stress है would be in number 1 and the least causing stressor in number 23. Just rate it down. Handout 3 and handout 4. I can see some red, green, sea green individuals discussing their stressors maybe. Wearing such colored textile, they are discussing their stressors. It's very nice to see. Very often found. Mr. Purple Textile, yes. Sorry to address you with such names, sir. You are out of line, by the way. That is causing me a little bit of stress. Sir, you are most welcome here. You can sit here also in the very first place. Sir, would you mind answering me? What is your most biggest stressor right here, right now? What you are thinking as the biggest stressor? It's a stress, quite a stress for you. I have got one very amazing point and I really want some interactions on this one. I have only 2 slides or maybe 3 slides left, so I won't take your much time. But please, if possible, I want interactions on this point. You see in handout 4B, page 12, it is given. Point number 12. Trouble with in-laws. Does anybody have that? And is that a stress for you? I've seen some of them sitting here, so I thought, I know females are also present in the session. Very common taboo in the society, very common stigma in the society. So thought to maybe ask for an interaction. Rumali ma'am, would you like to speak on this?
This trouble with in-laws, actually this is, right now this is not a problem, but at the very beginning when I was married, I have some problem with some adjustment. I came from my home to a new environment. So, at the beginning I was having some problem with adjustment, but both of us tried to adjust and now it's fine.
So what rating would you give it?
Right now I am filling it up, so it will be somewhere in the middle.
Okay, thank you. what we will be doing here is, since you already have the handouts page separately, when handout 2 is given, handout 3 is given, and handout 4, which are already doing it right now. At the back of the page, just write 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is what we will practice now, sitting in this room. As they say, we have different perceptions is what we will get to know from this particular technique. It's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique. The one which relaxes you at the same time, helps you ooze out your perceptions, present right around you. While you are filling up your form, if you do this, it will be a bit of distraction, but also stress-free at the same time. 5 things to see, 4 things to feel, 3 things to hear, 2 things to smell, and 1 thing to taste. Be it right now, be it whatever happened. It could be that in this moment you see it within a minute, or be it whatever you saw from the morning till now. You can enlist everything. 5 things to see, again, 4 things to feel whatever you feel, 3 things which you hear right now, or maybe whatever you have heard till now, up to date, for only today, 2 things to smell, a beautiful smell or be the worst smell ever. Where did you smell it? How did you smell it? By the time you were coming to college or you were passing by something, and 1 thing to taste. I would just like you to write it down like this. Sorry. Normally. Just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, leave some spaces and you can write it at the back of your handouts. You can close your eyes and remember something and then write, or you can observe what is present in your surroundings. recorded word, how do they feel before being cut? The amount of stress which they go through.
Actually, we don't want to.
We never think, right? क्या करेंगे उनका सोच के? They are getting into our stomachs, that's it. Then why do you take up other people's stress as yours? You don't pay heed to a chicken or the doggy who is lying on the streets suffering from cold or something. They are avoidant. And why are you taking the stress due to other people? Are you also the avoidant one? I have tried an activity with the faculties lately where I just asked them to write down 10 names of the people who you love. 85% wrote well 10 names other than their own ones. Hardly 5 or 7 out of 60 wrote myself or their own name in the paper. Are we that into that category where we forget ourselves every often? There's no point in loving ourselves. Stress is a very chic and very trendy word for avoiding ourselves these days. There are already so much stressors present. Why to bring out a few more? Unnecessarily, which is not even required. What people think of us, we just generally say, "Amar torkar nahi bhaba, je ja bhabje bhabo." But it actually is within you. You do bother a lot to what people would say. Don't you think these are also something which accumulates to stress? I'm wearing this particular attire as a formal one, coming to college. Everyone is looking at me because, okay, this is very normal. Imagine I'm coming, just imagine for once, you now see me overall, you have my face recognized and registered in your mind. Recognize me someday outside, you see I'm riding a bike with full riding jacket and some maybe boots and the proper riding dress. Would you still have the same image of me right now? Can you have? At that point of time, you will just say, "Arey, that is Indakshi, that is it, that is it." You will not think of me, what I said in the seminar, or I would not think in real, ki, "Arey, sir, amake dekhe nahi lo. That student saw me doing this or that." How does it matter? You are good at your workplace, you do your work well, you leave the campus, it's your life. Why are you mixing your stresses from one area to another unnecessarily? This technique, I'm sure everyone is writing this and I will get to see many perspectives. We often tend to mix up. Nobody's answer would be similar. If sir would be writing the whole day's thing, somebody cannot remember this thing and they will try to write whatever they did in a month also. That is very latent, that is very internal. I don't get to observe it. Only you know it. So when something is so internal, why to bother it up completely? Stress is internal, although however you try, whatever seminars you attend, it is your regulation. Internally, how you regulate yourself every single day. Just like you plan your day, I would suggest you, rather, I would be in vex with you if you say, "Yes, I will try to regulate my day, not plan my day." Regulating is enough. Go talk to someone, write it somewhere, rip it up, bury it down, flash it off, whatever it takes. Keep your mental health, because mental health is actually a taboo in the society. Nobody cares about mental health. People are running behind YouTube and fashion and whatnot, but not mental health. what is mindful and mindful. You remember the extract where I said, where I mentioned about that chip, about the storage capacity? That is the difference between mindful and mindful. Your mind is either full with your thoughts, your distractions, your worries all throughout the day, and if you plan your day, it will be just engaged with your present moment. It's not always live in the moment. It's cherish the present moment. If you are not here in the moment, you cannot be anywhere. If you can't regulate your thoughts, you can't stop your mind from allowing the thoughts which are distracting. You can never do it in next 3 months also. It is a proven study, it is a proven research that says so. From there we got this mindfulness and mindfulness. Second thing, you might be feeling scattered or anxious about a scenario. Just like when I was walking down here, I knew what the seminar hall looked like. I knew some of the teachers here, some of the professors from a long time, some new faces I knew I would be facing, but that counterbalanced. So what we would learn from our environment would be counterbalancing. If something is causing you stress, you cannot arouse it fully, at least partially try to remove it. Inculcate some good factors as well, just to counterbalance. You are on autopilot reacting to situations without awareness. How many of you, I would love to see the hands, how many of you just do any action without thinking? Now your question would be, our age does not permit. Definitely, you are experienced with your age. A boy of 16 and a man of 46 would not react to situations the same way. But it happens once in 1,000 times maybe. It does happen, it is bound to happen. And although how much stress-free you are, you cannot stop that. But some people, due to a lot of stress, go on autopilot mode without even thinking. At the age of 46, whatever experience you hold, you just react. You do not respond. Which is also a very common sentence these days. We hear the phrase, try to respond instead of reacting. Try to listen and understand, just not nodding your head. We should be actually responding and not reacting. Reacting is very observable, you just do it instantly, but responding can be internal. If you keep quiet also, that can be a response. People with high cognitive abilities would be able to figure it out. And the one who is not aware in the moment, the one who is already full of a lot of things, they will continuously provoke you. Why are you not answering? Tell me what happened, why is this silence, what are you trying to teach me and what not. You will remain silent and you will see the other person yelling at you, provoking you to do the actions which he would have done in your place. This is a very common response of being mindful. Often associated with stress and multitasking and feeling out of control if your mind is full of things around you. Example, thinking about work while cooking dinner or worrying about an upcoming meeting while driving. This seems a very good example of multitasking. Excuse me. Can I have the last response, as in how many of you actually do multitask? How many of you can multitask is the right question. I can also multitask. Many of you. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing?
Bad thing.
How many of you says it's a good thing?
Good and bad both.
Good and bad both को साइड में रखते हैं मैडम, वो बहुत कंफ्यूजन वाला स्टेज हो जाता है. Let's talk in binary 0 and 1. So how many of you says it's a bad thing?
It's a bad thing.
Why, sir? Why is it a bad thing?
It is actually not possible to multitask. Our mind doesn't permit it.
Actually, our mind does not. It's just scattering our attention, that's it. If you are able to do it, you are a person of abilities. That is how it is good. You have got lots of abilities. But I must tell you, your attention span is very low. Good and bad, both, but in their own aspects, it does not fall together. So we need to stop multitasking and finish our tasks like replying to an email or something as soon as possible and then do the rest of the task. That will create a little bit of stress, not a lot of stress. Well, I am here up to the end of my session. If you have any questions, you can just shoot on to me. I'll try to answer. Yes, sir, please.
If we are bounded to do multitask, then
Are you bound to sit here right now?
no.
If you walk out by any chance, what are the probable causes? Who will question you? The first person that comes to your mind?
No one.
They are not bound, sir. You answer it yourself. It is you who try to bound yourself because there are responsibilities. Or may I just get the question reframed once again so that I can answer?
So the question is from family issue or job profile?
You ask me, sir. It's your question. The way you ask it, I'll try to answer my best possible way. You say you are bound to multitask, then what will you do? Can you give me an example of what multitasking you are bound of doing?
From morning, I have to ready myself for doing work, and then after returning home, I have to do cooking dinner or figure out some home essential responsibilities, and then I have to go to sleep. And before sleep, I also have to merge or collaborate something.
Things are going in your mind always. I am a whole different person. I have my whole different threshold of understanding and regulating my task. My routine is similar to yours. Not necessarily, if you say you are bound, I will say I am not. Not the best person to answer, but I will say this is your routine and maybe somewhere you are stuck into something which is incomplete for a very long time now. So if it is incomplete, sir, try to complete it. Get hold of it, catch it, grab it, complete it and leave it. Maybe some of the factor will move out of your mind. That might help. If that answers your question, welcome, sir. Yes, madam?
Ma'am, as we are all in our teaching field,
Yeah.
being a lecturer,
Yeah.
what can be the probable things that we can do for students so that we can engage them into more activities that it becomes very stressful thing to continue the long sessions for long hours till 9, 10 to 5:30. Like that's a very long. Students cannot bear such long sessions to do so much work. So what are the things that we can do to make them more like engaged and more interesting to keep that concentration for long hours in class?
May I answer?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, actually, I'm not the one to be suggesting this to you because since I'm just a psychological counselor, not a lecturer yet. But what I suggested from the very first to all of the colleges was there are some movies that depicted that classrooms are supposed to be interactive. Of course, without your interaction, I am no one. If you do not prioritize me, I will not feel my presence. That creates a stress to the teacher. And your question is out of a stress only, how to actually keep them engaged for this long. First and foremost thing is, take their phones and keep it somewhere, including yours. Let that flow free. First you keep your phone aside and say, just submit, at least for 30 minutes. After that you take it. I'm not going to keep your phone for all these 50 minutes classes. Take their phones and try to indulge into some activities. Some focus, some distraction. Some focus, some distraction. A counterbalance of both can be created by only the teacher. Just like these handouts, These are not from somewhere. I made it long back in 2022 for a CBSE training module. From there I took only 3 handouts because the rest doesn't work for college people. Wherever I find a place, that 5 minutes used for activity, used for interaction, because people nowadays, be it someone of your age, be it a student, we have lost the power of interaction completely. There is no communication. One single point of disappointment, you don't talk to the people the next day. Don't you think we need to work on this more? Only thing I can suggest from my side is now try to indulge into some activities. If also not related to the particular class, 5 minutes won't be harming much. That you can try once, maybe. Welcome, ma'am. Anyone else with any questions?
Madam, kindly explain once again anticipatory stressors.
Anticipatory, should I go back to the slide? Let me see which one you are talking about, ma'am. This one? Unexpected expectations. Basically, that is unpleasant expectations and fear. Let me again give an example of myself from today's session. I knew what the room looked like. I knew some of the people, even I know you, ma'am. By now, this is my second session as so far. Still, I was afraid what could be the people's facial expression while I'm explaining my session. Although how much I try to keep it in my mind, my father used to tell me from the very lower classes, even you might have heard, "Mone kore niyo samne keu nei." That will be easier for you to do a debate or do a competition, do a elocution, give a seminar or a webinar. But that clearly doesn't happen. There are 60 faces in front of me. How can I avoid it all? This is an anticipatory stressor, which anticipates in giving you stress in life. A little bit of fear. Getting into any new situation which you have never faced before, getting in front of such new people whom you have never seen before, can be an anticipatory stressor. Walking up in an interview, giving a seminar to a new group of people, interacting with a mass bunch of people together all of a sudden in a day, are anticipatory stressor. And disappointments. You expected something, doesn't come to you, is also a stressor, and along with that helps you in inconsistency. It helps in inconsistency. When you think, a lot of times it happens mostly in interpersonal relationships, we expect a lot out of the other person in front of us. When those expectations are not met, we keep on blaming each other. That is also another factor of anticipatory stress, which are anticipating in your stressful life. That is all. Am I able to answer, ma'am? Anything else? Any question from your side? If you have no more questions, the last stressful event for today is again a handout which I'll take from you. Whatever you have learned or not learned, heard the session or not heard the session, focus, attention चाहे रहे या ना रहे session में, इस session में से जो भी you think you have heard, a word also will work in this line. Just write whatever you feel like. As a blank canvas it is given to you, stating and list some of the key learning from this FDP. Whether you think you have not learned something, you are free to write that also. Let's call it a free will, you can just enlist anything you want to. And lastly, there is a feedback form only particularly for my stress management session. A short one, it won't give you much stress. Please fill it up if possible. I would love to get some criticisms on how to develop my sessions in a more better way. I just conclude my session with this. If you have no more questions, I hope you can just fill the forms up maybe and just submit it to sir who will